Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is a bad software engineer resume. The reason I know it's bad is because they did not pick a stack. Software engineers, and I want to let everybody know I do more than tech right now, but the tech market is... So most of the resumes sent to me are tech, especially software engineers and data analysts. But software engineers need to pick a stack. If you do not pick a stack you will, well, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to get rejected by everything. So pick a stack. What those stacks are Backend Java, Backend Python, Backend C#.net, full stack, and front end. If you do not tailor your resume to one of these stacks, you are going to get rejected. And I know people are first off going to be like, hey, Lee, what are you talking about? There are agnostic roles. Yeah, I've worked for them. Even those are not agnostic roles. Everybody has a preference. You need to pick one of those. So this has already failed by not picking a stack. But I saw out of the corner of my eye that maybe there's a little bit of full stack. So we're going to go with full stack. And what we need for full stack is degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, React or React.js, Node.js, Angular, Next.js, SQL, NoSQL, RESTful API, REST API, Cloud, CI/CD, Git, .NET or Python or Java, and bonus points for all that other good stuff. And I want to let everybody know, I mentioned TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. You need that. I don't care how basic it is. I don't care if everybody has it. If you do not have JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and TypeScript, your resume will probably get rejected. Although you can replace TypeScript with another backend language, you would just ideally have that and the backend language. So recruiters only have 20 seconds to find what we need in the resume. That is all the time that we have. Can I find what I need for a full stack, assuming this is a full stack, in those seconds? And let's find out and go. Okay. Undergrad research. Oh, this is so badly formatted. Enabled autonomous underwater. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. Deployed pipelines by PyTorch kind of matters. The rest of this doesn't. Delivered 5 production websites. This doesn't matter. And manage projects through full cycle. That one's actually okay. I like that one. And time. Okay. Yes, this is a bad resume. So let me read what they wrote. They said graduating in May, which is, yeah, this is when you should start applying. You want to apply about 3 months prior to graduation. That's not to say there are not jobs available further out than that. It's just like 90% of the people will not move forward unless it's 3 months. Some big companies like Google and Pepsi and all that other stuff will hire in more than 3 months in advance, but they're rare. So, graduating in May, 300 apps, only 1 interview. How should I spend my last 10 weeks? I'm a CS senior at a Cal school, 3.6, did an associate's in math. Here's where I messed up. Instead of doing a summer internship, I traveled back to my home country for the first time in years. It was the right call personally, but it left a gap in my resume. I didn't even notice that, bro. That's not where you messed up. I don't think people are gonna... The fact is, these are bad bullet points, and the entire resume is chaos. So I don't believe that matters at all. No one, like, it's good that you took off time personally, because you're not going to get that time back. It's always good to do the personal stuff before work. Let's see. So this year I've been catching up by building projects, taking on research roles, open source contributions, hackathons, grinding neat code. Neat code? I think they meant to say leak code, unless neat code is another one. I'm currently in the final rounds for QA engineer. Good, which I'm grateful for in this market, but I want to keep pushing for software engineer. Here's how I'm spending my time. Oh my gosh, this person wrote a lot, which is good. But yeah, just to let everybody know, this is a bad resume. 300 applications to 1 interview is garbage. When people follow my methodologies, they get 1 interview per 7 applications on average. There are a couple of exceptions if you're going for fully remote or you're international, but 1 in 7 is what I get people. And I will tell you this, anything below 50 applications to 1 interview is a good ratio. So if you're getting 1 interview per 25 applications, your resume is actually really good. But this is not. This is 300 to 1, and I can tell because, oh my gosh, there's like nothing here. Here's how I've been spending my time. Resume refining. What even is that? Algorithms, interview preps. But I haven't gotten a single online assessment at over 300 applications. Yeah, because your resume is garbage. This is a terrible resume. Has nothing to do with the gap. I didn't even notice the gap. It's the fact that everything else. let's see, almost nothing back, no industry connections, no referrals, which is common. Most people get those after they start working. Given that I have 10 weeks, should I double down on my applications and build a standout project? No, you need to fix your resume. Your resume is garbage. I don't want to be stuck in this position for the next 10 weeks. This message looks like a post because I copy pasted it for Reddit. Thanks in advance. No worries on that one. So, your resume is garbage. You are not garbage. Your resume is. So here's why it fails. A, you need to pick a stack. This is kind of in between. I'm assuming this is full stack, but I'm also looking at a lot more Java stuff. So it might be Java backend instead, which in that case, I'm going to have to get different keywords because they are different. And yes, I am aware that a Java developer that wants a little full stack is going to be different than a full stack developer that wants a little Java. So this is full stack. This is Java, which maybe you are. The problem is I didn't even get to that. So here's what we need to do. First things first, fix your formatting, bro. This is what your formatting should look like. This is how you do it. The link is in the description below. So like none of that is good. And then second off is there's not a single thing in this undergraduate research assistant that I could use besides PyTorch. And that's a nice to have. That's extra credit on a test. So you basically did the 5-point extra credit and not the rest of the assignment. So nothing here is relevant. And I want you to listen to this because I say this every stream so everybody else can skip ahead like a minute. But your problem is you have too many hot dogs and not, well, any hamburgers. So I want you to imagine you are hungry. You go to lunch. You say, I want a cheeseburger with pickles and onions. The waiter looks at you and says, cheeseburger, pickles, and onions, and they judge you slightly for that order. You say, yes, cheeseburger, pickles, and onions. That is what you want. They say, all right. Their job is to get that order. They go back and they bring you a hot dog with cheese, pickles, and onions, and they say, hey, here's your hamburger. And you would be like, no, I wanted a hamburger. This is clearly a hot dog. And they say, well, no, based on what you wanted a hamburger has meat, just like a hot dog. A hamburger has buns, just like a hot dog. A hot dog has cheese, pickles, and onions, just like a hamburger. Thus, this is what you wanted. This is a hot dog. You would look at them like they were crazy, and you would walk away. And that is the problem with this, is all of this stuff is tangentially related to what I'm looking for. It is close to what I'm looking for, but it's not this, and this is what I'm looking for. And if it's not this, it doesn't matter. Now, again, I don't know if you're full stack or Java, and that would change this, because this is this you need to fix. So pick one of these, and I'm not saying you have to do this for the rest of your career, but you need to pick a stack or you will fail. It's how the hiring world works for software engineers. It's not fair or just, but it is how it works. And I can't teach you how to topple the game or change the rules, but I can teach you how to play it. So the problem is nothing here in this first bullet point has literally anything I need. Enable OAuth, blah, 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 doesn't matter. Again, PyTorch is nice, so doesn't matter. 100% on-time delivery is nice, but the rest of this doesn't matter. So this doesn't matter. I don't know why you included it. You need to include something that actually is related to what I'm looking for, not this. Then we go down to here. Built a full stack application. Okay, good. With Spring Boot. Okay, good. Fast API in React and TypeScript. Good. But I didn't even get this far. Reducing manual note taking from hour to one-click generated summaries in minutes. That's actually not terrible. That's a good description. The problem is, again, skill sections don't count. This does not count. So there is people think we are keyword hunting, and that's not the case. We are qualification hunting, and a qualification is a keyword, which is one of these, plus how you used it, plus the reason and result of you using it, plus where you use it. And if it's not those four things, it doesn't count. So that's why this does work, but this up here doesn't, and this up here doesn't. The problem is, I don't see Java. I don't see JavaScript. And yes, I know Java is backend, JavaScript is frontend. I don't see Java or JavaScript for this. So again, the only things I really see is Spring Boot, which is good for Java, but not full stack, and React and TypeScript, which is nice for backend Java, but I don't see any of the front end. And then integrated a Whisper AI for doesn't matter. Microservices is something I want. Doesn't matter. Implemented asynchronous to PostgreSQL is good, but nothing else. Doesn't matter. I actually do like how you wrote the description. Build concurrent baking, anonymous, thread, doesn't matter. This is not what I'm looking for. ATMs, not what I'm looking for. SDLC, maybe, but the rest of this. So your problem is your bullet points are terrible. Like, this is why you're not getting anything, is your resume is almost entirely blank. The only thing that actually is good is this sentence right here, which I don't have a ton of notes for. The problem is there's nothing else, and I need 75% of these to move you forward. So I'm going to need you to break this resume into two. One full stack, one Java backend developer, and then I'm going to need you to redo both of those resumes and have actually relevant qualifications that I'm looking for, because right now there's nothing. There's just nothing here. You've sent almost an entirely blank page, and this is why you are struggling to get any type of interview in 300 applications. The fact that you've only gotten one is terrible. So the other quick note that I wanted to say is projects don't need dates. It's a project. You could take a year, a month, it doesn't matter. We need the dates for everything else, but not that. So this is the problem with this resume. This is why you're failing, and that is how to fix it. So pick a stack. And add, if you're doing full stack, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. You did have TypeScript, but I need JavaScript, HTML, CSS. And if you're going for Java, I need Java. So before we go to the next resume, I just want to thank you all for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you very much. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on both YouTube and twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And to my members who get access to videos a little bit early, thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. If anybody wanted to join, they can join in the link below, which has, like, everybody should look at the link below. It has so much stuff for y'all. Please look at the link below. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a back-end Java developer. So what we need for a back-end Java developer is kind of what we needed for the last one. We did not have Java, Spring, Spring Boot, Maven, SDLC, SQL, RESTful APIs or REST APIs, microservices, CI/CD, object-oriented programming, OOP, Git, Linux, Agile, Scrum, Cloud. Any of them is fine. I do really AWS, GCP, Azure, all of them are fine. Architecting or systems work, hibernate, Docker, Kubernetes, Kafka, and rare but nicer to have is full stack DevOps and RabbitMQ. And if you notice, the full stack for a Java developer is different than the full stack for a full stack developer. So differences. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see what this is. This is the fixed version of their resume. So this should be better, and I'm going to be hyper critical of it because I think this is their second or third time. So let's see what we can find. 20 seconds on the clock, and go. Okay, good. Master's Computer Science, okay. Software engineer, design and implement a payment feature using Java, Spring Boot, REST APIs, good. Deployed Docker based on AWS C2 for microservice scalability. Applied Origin for microservice and PostgreSQL for admin. Worked in Agile sprints, demo. So this is solid. Let's see. What am I missing? We have Java. We have Spring Boot. We have RESTful APIs. Let's see, we have Docker, which is there. We have AWS, which is good. Let's see, we have SQL. Let's see, back in SQL. We have Hibernate. We have Agile Scrum, which is nice. We have OOP, which is good. We have SDLC and CI/CD and Maven. So good. I am missing some of this other stuff. But also, here's the real kind of the kicker on this one is if you're going for an H-1B, no amount of writing something here is going to help. Because getting an H-1B from its STEM OPT is the toughest thing to get. Now, if you're not going to be seeking an H-1B, that's different. But you also have to tell us, like, As I am on a STEM OPT, I do not need sponsorship and will not be seeking it until whenever. But really, there's probably nothing here you could write that would change their opinions unless you're not seeking sponsorship. If you're not seeking sponsorship, then you need to tell us. The other part here is I'm not sure why this is 2 lines, and I don't need to know when you graduated. I only need to know that you graduated. Although I will say, since it is most likely going to be within the last 2 years, it is beneficial to have when you graduated, not when you started. And again, I know Stevens Institute of this, you can just put MS in computer science and then put SIT, which I guess would be whatever it is. So this should fit into 1 line. And then we go down to here, and it's not bad. Like I said, I like this. I'm still missing, I think, Git. I'm missing architecture. I'm missing Kubernetes. I'm missing Kafka and microservices. Did I miss microservices? I don't think so. Design and implement a payment feature using Java, Spring Boot, REST-API to process secure online applications. Good. I want a little bit more detail here about the reason. So, like, is it good to process secure online applications? Cool. Why did you do that? Give me a teeny bit more here. Deployed a Docker-based AWS for there's microservices. Scalable, reliable, and cloud deployment. The problem is, why is scalable and reliable cloud deployment what they want? Remember, we're looking for business reasons. The business why, not the technical why. That is a bit of the difference. And the second sentence has the technical reason, but not the business reason. I need the business reason. Applied object-oriented principles, design backend using Hibernate PostgreSQL for data persistence. Again, why is data persistence important? I don't know. You didn't tell me. Worked in Agile using JUnit for testing and code reviews to improve code quality. Why is it important to improve code quality? I don't know. You didn't tell me. This is kind of understandable to a layman, so this one might be okay to have, but the rest of these I need to know. So you have the what, you have the how. I need a little bit more on the reason or result, and remember, it's a business reason, not necessarily the technical reason. The technical reason is not what the hiring managers want. They want the business reason, with the exception of startups who really like scalability and showing that you can scale. So is this a bad resume? No, I think this is solid, but we need to work even better on the reason and results and probably tighten up the formatting just a little bit, because getting your first entry-level role as somebody on that needs immigration services is the toughest challenge you will ever face in this job market, bar none. So that's next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So this is good. We have one of each, right? We have an unknown for the first one. Previous one was Java. Now it's full stack. So again, we need this stuff up here: TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Although I am a little worried because this person stated full stack or backend or front end. Cool. That's every single stack. You need to pick a single stack for your resume. If you do not pick a single stack for your resume, you're in for a bad time. So, do we know this person's ratio, which is 1 in 100, so that's not great, but not the worst. So, let's see what they actually have in here and if we can find it. So, 20 seconds is on the clock, and that's assuming that 1 in 100 is actually accurate, because sometimes people just put random numbers, and it's like, you need to tell me this information. The information is critical. So, and go. Okay, this doesn't matter. Okay, full stack. Built a full stack from a ground up. Okay, but what did you use? Stripe API? No. Credentials? Oh my gosh. You tell me nothing. Nothing. For resume. Okay, this entire resume is nothing. Okay, cool. You sent me a blank resume. What did you write? I'm applying for jobs in full stack. I know Next.js, Mern, JavaScript, TypeScript. Where are they? I don't see them. Because remember, they need to be under a job and show me how and the reason and result. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. Skill sections don't count. This is why you don't want them. It does not matter. Okay. And I am confused. Should I add all and will look like a generalist or show only related? You need to split this into 3 separate resumes. This has nothing. I don't know how you got an interview this, but congrats. But even bad resumes can get interviews. But, like, I did so bad. This is so bad. So first off, you do not need a summary unless you are relocating, explaining a visa that's not needing an H-1B, or what was the last one? Come on, Lee, you know this. Relocating, spending visa, switching industries, and I'm talking about switching industries from like McDonald's to no, that's the bad one. From a human resources to software engineering or something, or vice versa. That would need a summary, but this doesn't. So this is the problem. Is that like I don't see anything. You actually. So this is one thing is. I like a little bit of how you explain this, but I don't see any of the words I'm looking for. I don't see any of the reason how you did it. Because remember, this does not count. Skill sections don't count. This entire resume is blank. I don't know how to actually review this because, like, this doesn't matter because there's nothing that would show that you are related to the role except for the word full stack, and I need you to actually write it down. Man, some companies would actually probably like this because of Stripe. This sentence alone may save you from some startups. That they may like a few of those. But again, I need to know what it is. What stack was it? I don't know. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me anything about what you did. You said how you told me what you built, and you need to tell me how you built it and the reason and result of what you built and what you built. So I mean, I'm struggling what else to say because this resume is just blank. There's really nothing here. You need to fix the formatting. I mean, you need to delete this all and start again. There's nothing here I can use that's salvageable. Your education also should be at the top. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. This resume is completely blank. You need to do it again. I'm actually very curious to know how you got an interview for this, because there's nothing here. I need you to actually put this stuff, and I need you to pick a stack, because this is not working. Next resume. This is a resume of a front-end developer. So what we need for a front-end developer is JavaScript, React, Angular, HTML, CSS, and PHP. Yes, PHP, that is in job descriptions. It needs to be there. If it's in job descriptions, it needs to be there. Why is PHP in a front-end role? I don't know, but it is, so you need it. Next.js, SQL, Scrum, Agile, RESTful APIs, SEO, Git, CI/CD, Node.js, 0 to 1, communicate with stakeholders, needs into a product, extra language, cloud, UI, UX, SAS, TypeScript, WordPress, mobile, and GraphQL. We do not know this person's ratio, so let's just see how good or bad this is. 20 seconds is on the clock. And go. BS good. This needs to be explained. Develop scalable mobile applications using Node 100K users. That actually is nice. Design and implement backend with Python and SQL and AWS. Integrated AWS. Increase the development speed. It's not bad. This is maybe a 1 in 50. The problem is you're probably going for remote roles. So here's a couple of things. One, you cannot just say TN visa. This is where you need a description that tells me how you can need it, how you can use it. Is this a one where you just need to do a handshake at the border? Is this going to take 200 years to do? I don't know. You have to tell me. So you need to tell me how I can work with the TN visa, because the TN visa is, to my knowledge, a pretty easy visa to work with, but not a lot of people know that. So you have to describe it. So you need to describe this here, okay, under above the education. So it'll be there. Then here, hackathon. You already graduated. You already a senior role. I don't really think this matters. I don't think people would know what that is or really care. Then we go down to here, front-end dev, mostly good. Problem is, I would prefer you to put these in the front of the sentence. So I would say developed, I would say used TypeScript. Where's JavaScript? Again, Next.js doesn't count for JavaScript. I need JavaScript. I want you to say used JavaScript, React, Angular, Next.js, TypeScript, and Node.js to support 100 plus concurrent users in a mobile application for our healthcare environments, okay? Remember, these need to be in the first half of the sentence. Then And helicopter is low. You already mentioned Node.js, so I don't need that. You did not mention Python and SQL, DynamoDB. I don't care about DynamoDB, so DynamoDB doesn't really matter, but Python is nice. AWS is good. So designed and implemented backend. No, remember, designed backend using, I want you to put these in the first half. .NET, Python, and SQL. The problem is, the only thing I really care about is the SQL. The rest of that is nice to have, and the AWS. So you only have 2 things that I really want here, when I'd prefer you to have 3. Extra credit does not count. So this needs 1 extra keyword, which I hate saying, but whatever. Integrated AI agents like, okay, again, I need more than this. Led architectural decisions, collaborate with stakeholders, teams, and agile, deliver high impact solutions. Like what? What solutions? You need to give me more information. You give me too many hot dogs and not enough hamburgers. It's not a terrible resume, all right? I want to be clear, but there's a couple of flaws. In fact, I think this would almost pass to pass. Then implemented CI/CD pipelines using don't care, using don't care, using don't care, don't care, don't care. So again, this needs more. You don't need this many bullet points for this. You want a maximum of 8 bullet points, and honestly, I think you could get away with having 5 for this, because 5 to 6 bullet points. So they're just too spread out. I need you to focus on this stuff, which again, it might be slightly different because you're applying to the United States, I think. So yeah, you need to focus up on this stuff, and I need you to basically make it in the first half of each sentence. And I think you should stop C3 thread. Honestly, probably here. I don't think you need this many bullet points. I think about 6 maximum, probably 5, and you need to stop filling with hot dogs. So again, is this the most terrible resume ever? No, this is the best one out of the resumes I've reviewed so far this video. Except for maybe the full stack dev. But there are things that you can do to make it better. Next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer intern. Now, they actually said they get a 1 in 47 for this, so I'm expecting this to be good, but we'll find out. So what a software engineer intern is, we need is degree. I need to make sure you're still enrolled. Basic knowledge of the tech stack. So language, library, SQL, cloud, maybe a little bit of AI, the ability to work well together with others, and you take direction and criticism. So let's see if I can actually find that in 20 seconds, and if this is actually good. Because again, 1 in 50 is solid, right? Like it's like a C minus in that it passes but barely, but it does pass, which is the exact same way I feel about Jake's resume template, is that it passes but barely. It's like a C minus. So, but a C minus is still a pass, right? Like all that matters is that you pass. But I do need to see a lot of interns forget to show how they can work well with others and take direction and criticism. If you have like 5 or 6 other internships, you don't really need to put that in as much. But if you've only got like 1 internship or no internships, I really need to see direction and criticism. So 20 seconds on the clock and go. Okay, degree, good. This isn't relevant. AWS, design implemented pipeline LLM using, okay, built a Python system to analyze. This is tough because of the X's. Production ready RESTful API, good. GCP, date specific, Google Workplace, AI researcher awards. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a 1 in 50. Probably a little bit less, but the big problem for me is like there may be critical information in these X's, because you do say using XXX that I may be missing, so I'm not sure. There may be more relevant information here. It's just the doxing is the part that's the issue. So how do we make this better, right? So again, this is not the worst ever, but it's like So first off, relevant coursework is never relevant. Second off, please, for the love of all that is holy, use this format. This is hard to read, so remove this line right here. This is fine to keep this for AWS, but again, remember, this should be 1 line, no bolding. Nothing here should be bolded, right? The only things that ever should be bolded are your name, the education right here, not here, up top, and your work history / project. There only should be 4 things bolded at maximum in your resume. Then we go on to the actual thing. I don't know how to judge this. There's too many X's that the X's might be critical information. I think it's a little bit too many numbers, but maybe those X's are giving critical good information. So I would recommend to remove a lot of these numbers because most of them don't matter, right? Like the number of users does, that's something that they do like, but 92% and correct solutions and all that stuff, most people don't really care about. So then we go down to here is build and deployed production ready RESTful APIs, good. The generated date specific summaries from Google meetings, again, I don't care about the numbers, across 3 years of historical data. This number is good because it gives context. And reducing manual report time. So this does tell me like how I would prefer a little bit more of the business reason, but it's not terrible. And then here, most people don't want to put OAuth auth or JSON. So yeah, most of this doesn't matter. And then I can't judge this because it's all black. It's all X's. I can't actually judge that. So your first bullet point in the second job is solid. I don't know how to judge this. I don't know how to judge this because there's too many X's that I can actually do. So then this awards are fine. But again, I need context of them. And then we go down to here, which people can barely see. Again, don't want to put that up there. Develop a full stack web that with probability guesses for Wordle. Again, I don't care about the numbers. The second bullet point is good. I don't think people can see it, which is built-in interactive REST front end in React front end in TypeScript with a color-coded guess history, letter frequency analysis, and real-time hints, supported by a fast API with a custom Python to enable multiple game modes and efficient entropy base. So it's a little wordy, but I like a little bit about the reason and result you did it. So how would I fix this? Well, first off, again, I don't know what's in here or here, but I would put something in about how you can work well together with other people. Right? Remember, you're just like on the edge of having that. So I do want to see just a little bit of working together with other people, take direction, criticism. I prefer you to remove a lot of these numbers. I need you to fix the formatting, and I prefer you to have a little bit more of the basic tech stack than some of the advanced stuff. But otherwise, you're on the right idea. Just please fix your formatting. This is very difficult to read. So again, not a terrible, no good, awful resume. But it is a C- resume, right? A 1 in 47 is about a C-. So I guess that's like a C instead of a C-. So yeah, do those changes, fix the formatting, make it more understandable to a layman, make some of the reason and results a little bit better, and put in something about working well with others and taking direction and criticism, and you should be getting like a 1 in 10, a 1 in 5, maybe a 1 in 15. So that's all I can do for this video. I just want to thank everybody for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you very much. If you ever need more help, you can always join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And to all of my members who get access to videos a little bit early, thank you very much for supporting me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if anybody wanted to be a member, they can join in the link below. But that is it for me, and I will see you in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later, y'all.